What's that? You want to be scared? Come with me. You will experience tales of horror, ghosts, and death. It is not recommended for the weak at heart. Listen in the dark. It's more fun that way. This is Weekly Spooky.
Well, hello, my friends. I am Henrik Kuto, your host and narrator, and thank you for joining me this week for a little taste of Halloween, even though it's, I think it's May. I'm pretty certain it is May, but the days are a little harder to tell apart than I would care for them to be, but, you know, that is the life of being in the middle of the COVID-19 pandemic. My state, Ohio, is starting to slowly open up businesses a little bit, but, unfortunately, it's going to be a while before things are even remotely normal again. But, the good news is, here on Weekly Spooky, we're all about exploring the things that aren't normal, the things that scare us, and having a good time with that. And I have a really terrifying piece of lore for you this week, because not only is this piece scary, creepy, and it hits really hard, but it's based on a true urban legend. Urban legends are something I have been obsessed with since I was a very young man. And growing up in the 90s, one of the biggest urban legends you would ever experience was really legitimately anything that had to do with AIDS or HIV, because there was so little information, but it was so scary. I mean, think about it. Every teenage boy wanted to get laid, but had no clue about AIDS, how you could get it, etc. So there were stories about AIDS needles in movie theaters, AIDS needles on handrails, AIDS needles just about anywhere you would sit or put your hand without thought. So this week, we bring you a very special telling of one of my favorite scary urban legends of my childhood. So let's get to it right now, and I'll be back after the story to shoot the crap with you guys for a minute. But for now, enjoy. It's an intense one. AIDS Mary by Rob Fields. Raymond Burr reached his girlfriend's off-campus apartment. He looked at the tenant listings and pressed the buzzer button next to M. Wright. Moments later, he was buzzed in. He went down the hall to the corresponding apartment and knocked on the door. It opened shortly after. Raymond's girlfriend stood there, dressed in an oversized t-shirt. Anne. Hi, Raymond said. Hey. She stepped aside to let him in. Raymond kissed Anne on the lips. Then it turned into a more passionate kiss. Anne began to moan a little. When Raymond felt her hands in his hair, he moved a hand to grope one of her breasts. Suddenly, Anne gasped. Raymond, stop, she commanded. When he wouldn't relent, she grabbed his hair. Get off of me, God damn it! When he realized that she was serious, he obeyed. She glared at him. Is this all you want from me when we're together? Is that all we are to you and your fucking fraternity brothers? Sex toys? He groaned in frustration. Jesus, Anne, what the fuck? You join a convent or something? It used to be you wanting to fuck all the time. Now you're all holier than thou. He groaned again. You've been like this for weeks. I'm trying to be patient, but I'm at my end. You want to break up? Anne started crying. I'm sorry, Raymond. I just don't think I can be sexual with you anymore. She looked at him sharply. Do you love me? Tell me the truth. He took a deep breath. You know I love you. I do. But you gotta tell me what's wrong. A long silence. I'm late. Late? What do you mean? Her glare was stronger. I'm late, as in, I missed my period, as in, I got pregnant. His eyes grew wide. You're pregnant? She went to the bathroom and returned with 3 sticks in her hand, 2 white and 1 pink. I got pregnant. 3 different tests. He took the sticks from her, all showing plus signs. Then he looked back at her. You're sure? She glared at him again. You want me to take another test? You want to fuck me again, just to make sure they're right? He threw the sticks down and grabbed her shoulders. That's enough. When he saw her fear, he quickly released her. Let's talk. What's there to say? She whispered. A long pause came. Why didn't you tell me sooner? Raymond asked. She groaned. I didn't want a baby. She wiped away tears, then pointed to the door. Get the fuck out. Without another word, she stormed into the bathroom and slammed the door. The lock clicked soon after. Raymond returned to his dorm. He wanted to comfort Anne, but he didn't know what to say. He couldn't bear to hear Anne sobbing behind her bathroom door. Suddenly, his smartphone rang. He answered it. What? Turn on the news, man. Do it now. Marcus, I don't have time for this. Mary's here. She's on our campus. Jeff's dead. Raymond quickly reached for the TV remote. He turned the news on and recognized the building where the news cameras were. It was the Delta Omega Kappa fraternity house on the other side of Strickfield University. As the reporter talked about the incident, the camera switched to a bedroom inside the house. Did you see it on the mirror? It was in Carl's room, too. The camera stopped on the mirror and zoomed in. Raymond remembered hearing about this same message 2 days ago. The message was written in red lipstick. The words in the message were identical. Welcome to my world of AIDS. Hey, you still there, dude? Raymond found his voice. I'll be right over. Raymond met up with Marcus in front of the DOK house. Just seeing his look of horror sent a shiver down his spine. Marcus grabbed his arm. The rest of us are over at Masterson Hall. The 2 fraternity brothers walked to the other side of campus. When they entered the building, Raymond saw that there were only 2 others there. When they stopped, Raymond turned to Marcus. You said the rest of us were here. This is the rest of us, Raymond. Carl was on the news 2 days ago. The cops found his body at the Lemley Hotel off the main highway. The gun was in his hand and the rest of his head was all over the fucking walls. Carl saw Mary's message on the mirror and he blew his heads off. AIDS Mary. Raymond wanted to laugh. AIDS Mary? Then he regarded all of them. How do you people know her fucking name? Is there something you want to tell me? You should be afraid too, James Clark stammered. She'll come for you too. She'll come for all of us, Marv Vernon added. Ain't no coincidence she got Carl, then Jeff. He stood up. That fucking bitch has AIDS, and now she wants to give it to us? We know what she looks like, but she still got Carl and Jeff to fuck her anyway. Raymond raised his hand. How do you know she screwed them? Were you there? Their bodies were found naked, Marcus said. Didn't you watch the report on Carl? Why would she put that fucking message on the mirrors? She definitely fucked both of them. Raymond was frustrated. Assholes, you need to talk to me. Why is this AIDS Mary after everybody in our fraternity? A brief silence. Then one of them said, We raped her. Raymond's heart dropped into his stomach. What? I said we raped her. That's what I thought you said. Raymond took a deep breath. Okay, tell me more. Marcus sat down with the others. Earlier this semester, while we were taking a makeup exam, we went out looking for girls. We found this high school chick in a bar, drunk as shit. We brought her back to the house. We felt playful and started touching her. When she backed off, we grabbed her and took her down to the floor. She wasn't as drunk as we thought since she tried fighting us off. Raymond groaned. unfucking believable. Except it wasn't just her, it was them. As in, it wasn't just Mary. Raymond's jaw dropped. Jesus Christ. How many girls did you rape that night? 3? 5? 100? 2, Marv replied. Just 2. Raymond faked a smile. Okay, you raped 2 girls. Where'd you get the other one? A girl saw us through a window. She ran, but we caught her and, I can't believe this shit! Raymond roared in anger. So, another girl saw you, was gonna blow the whistle, and... What happened after you finished with her? We took Mary back to her high school and left her there. The other girl ran off. We were all still drunk, so we don't really remember what she looked like. Raymond waved his hand frantically. Okay, how do you know it's this AIDS Mary? How do you know it's not the other girl? Marcus handed Raymond a letter he had been holding. Open it. Raymond opened the envelope and removed the paper. It was the results of a hospital AIDS test, which was positive. The recipient was Mary Richter. Raymond gave the items back. Okay, but what I really want to know, which one of you motherfuckers gave it to her? The guys looked at each other in bewilderment. Raymond laughed scornfully. Are you fucking serious? He calmed down. You shitheels raped 2 girls. You have a hospital report saying one of them's got full-blown AIDS. It never occurred to you that one of you has it? There were no replies. Raymond sighed. Okay, I'll add something. You dumbasses probably all have it now. You all took turns with Mary, right? When the others looked at each other in horror, he knew he had them. You gotta get your sorry asses to a hospital, stat. If you all have AIDS, you know why. Raymond raised his finger. Then, turn yourselves into the police and confess to everything. AIDS Mary's still out there, right? She knows you shitheads, what you did to her. You'll all be lipstick on mirrors eventually. Me? I'm leaving. I got problems of my own, and I'm done with this fucking fraternity. AIDS Mary ain't coming for me since I wasn't in on the rape. Have a nice life, gentlemen. Without another word, Raymond left Masterson Hall and walked back to his dorm. A week later, Raymond was in his room, still trying to talk to Anne. This time it was on a video chat. Clearly, she was still down about her pregnancy. Not wanting to talk any further, she disconnected on him. He decided to turn on the news. He nearly dropped the remote when he saw the top story. Like the other DOK brothers, James had been found in his room, wrist slit. A familiar message was written on the full-length mirror in lipstick. Welcome to my world of AIDS. Raymond turned off the TV and raced to see if the other frat brothers were still alive. When he reached the fraternity house, he ran inside and shouted for them. No reply. He raced upstairs. When he reached Marv's room, he looked in. The room was empty. He moved to Marcus's room. Empty. Now he was worried. From past experiences, he knew there was always a frat brother at the house. Raymond moved through the rest of the house. As he was about to leave, he remembered the basement and headed to that door. Upon reaching it, he opened the door and flipped the light switch. Nothing. He turned and headed to the kitchen. He flipped the switches there. Nothing. He went to a drawer and pulled out a knife. He returned to the basement and descended slowly. Once off the bottom step, he looked around uneasily. He saw the back room and walked quietly towards it. He peeked in and saw that Marcus was tied to the bed, in his boxers. When Marcus saw him, his eyes widened and he made a muffled sound. Raymond raced to Marcus and removed the tape from his mouth. Marcus, what the fuck? Marcus shrieked. It's her, Raymond! She's here! Hi, boys, Another voice called out from nearby. A few seconds later, the intruder, a female, stepped out from behind a full-length mirror. "Mary Richter," Raymond cried. She was wearing very sexy, revealing lingerie. "In the flesh," she purred. She looked at Raymond. "I don't believe I know you." Suddenly, she raised her finger. "Wait a minute. You're Raymond. Your name's on the charter. You shouldn't have come here, but I guess it doesn't matter. I would have found and killed you anyway." "For what?" Raymond demanded. "You belong to this fucking fraternity. Okay, you weren't here when I was raped, but you are a brother. I got the others. You're the last one." He heard Marcus say, "Yeah, Raymond, she just screwed me. She gave me that shit she's carrying." "You people gave me this shit," Mary shouted, "when you raped me." Raymond raised his hands. "How did you get everybody if they already knew who you were?" "Wasn't hard," she laughed at her success. "You guys only think with your dicks, right? It was so easy to use shit from the theater department at my school. I could be a completely different girl with a wig, different clothes, stuffing my bra. Then I just found the bastards and fucked them. The easiest part of all." She took hold of the mirror and turned it around. Raymond and Marcus read the same message, written in lipstick. "Welcome to my world of AIDS." "This message can work for you too, Raymond," Mary said. She then produced a gun and pointed it at him. "I won't fuck you. You two can have a suicide pact. At least, that's what the police will think." "Don't do this," Raymond begged. "Why?" Mary snapped. "You didn't rape me, but that doesn't mean you get a pass. You'll leave here and call the police. Those motherfuckers raped me that night." She shouted now. "I had my whole life ahead of me. I'm not even out of high school, and your fucking fraternity brothers brought me here and raped me. I cried, begged them to stop. They totally destroyed me, made me bleed, made sure I would never have a life. I'm dying, Raymond. There's no cure. So I'm getting my revenge before I die." "Why do you need to kill me then?" Raymond fired back. "I was clear on the other side of campus that night. I would have never let these guys rape you." He sighed. "I'm not apologizing for these bastards." "Raymond," Marcus started. "Fuck you, Marcus. Mary's right. You fuckers got exactly what you deserved." Raymond dropped the knife. "You want to kill me? Then I hope you can explain to my girlfriend and my unborn child why." Mary's mouth opened a little. "You have a girlfriend? And you're having a baby?" She put the back of her hand on her forehead. "I really feel sick. I think I'm gonna die soon. I haven't taken any medications. I couldn't afford any, especially after my parents kicked me out. I don't want to live like this." She lowered the gun and sniffled again. "Would you really have stopped these guys that night? If I would have been here that night, you're damn right I would have." He started to move toward the couch. When she quickly raised the gun, he raised his hand. "I'm just getting this blanket." She lowered the gun. He picked up the blanket and shook it open. He approached Mary and draped it around her. She took it and finished covering herself. After she did, she moaned and collapsed. Raymond caught her and lowered her to the floor. "I'll call for an ambulance," he told her. "What's the point?" Mary choked and began to cry. "Why?" She looked up at the ceiling. "Why did they have to kill me?" Raymond eased Mary into his arms and let her cry as much as she wanted. He really felt horrible inside. True, he wasn't involved with the rape, but as part of this fraternity, he felt he might as well have been. He took the gun away from Mary without a struggle. Then he pulled out his smartphone and called 911. Hours later, Raymond returned to his dorm. He found Anne sitting on the bed. For the first time in so long, she smiled for him. "Anne?" I just saw the news. You stopped AIDS Mary. She took his hand. Are you okay? I know I've been so awful to you these last few months, and I'm so sorry. Raymond sat with her. He squeezed her hands. I love you so much, Anne. I'm ready to be a father for our baby. I'm here for you. She leaned forward and kissed him. After several kisses, she pulled her sweatshirt off. Let's make love. He looked astonished. Are you sure? She undid the button on the front of her bra and exposed her breasts. Soon they undressed each other and got under the sheets. Falling asleep together was the last thing that Raymond remembered. In the morning, Raymond woke up. Anne was gone. Next to him was a flash drive with a note taped to it. Play me. He picked it up, went to his computer. After inserting the drive, the video appeared. It was Anne. Hi, Raymond. Before I go any further, I left an envelope on the desk. Look inside. He turned and found the envelope. He opened it and found a hospital results sheet, similar to Mary Richter's. As he looked it over, he saw that it was a pregnancy test. Then he felt a second page just underneath it. He looked the page over. It was a second test. And then his jaw dropped. Anne talked as if on cue. Yes, Raymond, now you know why I didn't want to sleep with you these past few months. I was pregnant, and it wasn't yours. I really did want to have a baby with you, so I went off the pill. Our anniversary came, I stopped by your fraternity to get you. Then I remembered you were taking your makeup exam. As I was leaving, I heard a girl crying out. I discovered your brothers raping that poor girl. One of them saw me and I ran. They caught me and pulled me into the house. Your brothers raped me too, Raymond. She wiped away a tear. They gave me AIDS and got me pregnant that night. Mary rightfully killed those motherfuckers. I ended up having an abortion since the baby would have been born with the disease. But I've got a new purpose now. From now until I die, I am going to sleep with as many men as I possibly can. You men violated me and basically killed me. What I once did for you out of love, I do so now in revenge. AIDS Mary will live on, Raymond. Or don't you remember my full name? He gulped, looked down at her test results. He read the name carefully. Mary Anne Wright. Then he looked back at the monitor. One final thing, Raymond. Look at the bathroom mirror. She blew him a scornful kiss to end the video. He stood up and raced to the bathroom. He turned on the light and saw the message on the mirror in the same shade of lipstick. Welcome to my world of AIDS. How about that for some intense, not quite escapism because some of it is all too real, but that is why urban legends grab you. That's why they grab me and make me a little extra scared, is because it's something I don't quite know about or something I'm too afraid to learn about. And I think that was a pretty intense. And I want to thank Rob for writing such an excellent version of AIDS Mary. And that's the other thing that's really important with those kinds of urban legends, is they need to be told and retold so they can grow and morph and mutate. Gosh, I mean, man, I remember the good old days when the annoying family member would send you a chain letter, chain email. Now it's just memes that are wrong. But it used to be almost charming in a way, getting all these emails about gang initiations and things like that. Now, of course, misinformation is big business, but back then it was the type of thing that your scared great aunt would send you because, she worries about you because you're out living and gallivanting and who knows what you might get into. I want to take a second to say, if you're listening to this, I hope it's bringing you a little bit of entertainment. I hope it's bringing you a little bit of solace while we go through these pretty uncertain times. I want to thank everybody who is supporting the show. Currently, I've been floored by the amount of Patreon support, in particular, we've gotten during all this, because I know it's a hard financial time for many people. So thank you so much. And if you want to support the show in any way, please just go to weeklyspooky.com and find out how. And real quick, I want to thank our podcast boosters, Kevin Fry, Jack Kerr, Karen Weemet, Jason Limberg, I am Mr. Cheeseball, Craig Cohen, and Rob Fields. I am Mr. Cheeseball is my good friend Jerry Roth, but I think he wants to be credited that way. So until next time, my friends, try to stay sane and get a couple scares for myself, my producer Dan Wilder, and our awesome composer Ray Mattis. I will talk at you later.
Thank you for listening. Make sure to find your way back next week. But for now, you're safe. Trust me.